Good evening.
Good evening, Asil. Are you all right? How's your
Yes,
working day?
but I'm still at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, I see.
I I couldn't go to work and stay here. So, um, don't be late to this lesson.
Well, sorry, Asil, could you repeat the last phrase, please?
Uh, I didn't have enough time to go home, so decided to stay here, participate in lesson, then go to home.
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Well, um, any news, Asil? Aren't
No,
you a
nothing.
pediatrician? Nothing new?
Yes,
No news is
I'm.
good news, you see? No news is good news as well.
Yes, I had two shifts, night shifts, um, on Sunday, and next was on Monday. Wait, no, on Saturday and on Monday. Every other day. Yes.
Sorry, what were you talking about? Because the signal is weak, you see, and I can't
Ah,
hear you properly. Yeah, could
mhm.
you repeat the last phrase, please, once again?
I
Yeah.
told that I had two night shifts on Sunday and on Saturday and on Monday. Every other day. Hmm.
Yes, every other day. Yeah, I see. So you are beat. You are extremely
Mm,
tired. Do you want to
yeah.
sleep?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Hope you will get enough sleep as soon as you get home. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Enough rest. Well, I say let's start our session and have a look at your report. First of all, okay, report submitted at the weekend. Submitted
Hmm.
at the and what I mhm. So what should I say? What should I say, Asim? Well,
Hmm.
actually, you have done it quite well, but
Hmm.
there are some things which should be improved. Okay,
Hmm.
first of all, the coherence is a little bit confusing. You see, well,
Hmm.
what I mean is overview. The overview goes in the final part of your report. Do you remember?
Hmm.
uh, just I recommended you to go from to move from the general to the
Hmm.
specific one. Okay, so from general
Hmm.
to specific, and it's much better. It's highly recommended to write the overview after the bless you after the paraphrasing
Hmm.
as a second paragraph. So first of all, what should you do? First of all, you have to paraphrase the question. Okay, you have done it very, very well. Okay, so number
Hmm.
one, then you have to write as a second paragraph. I said you have to write the overview, second paragraph, okay, which goes after the paraphrasing. Yeah,
Hmm.
and then the third paragraph follows it. The third paragraph follows it. Okay, this is this is just a kind of a trouble with adherence. Okay, so
Hmm.
just follow this plan, follow this structure, please. Yes, sometimes just you can find some recommendations which say that it's okay to write the overview in the final part, but it's much better to do it in the beginning. You see, in the beginning of your report,
Hmm.
because for the examiner, it is easier to look at the overview to see, okay, that general trends and main features are included in the beginning of the report rather than in the final part. You see?
Hmm.
I said
Yes.
it's logically
Hmm.
correct. Yes. So you describe the main features and then you go into details. Then you go into details. Well, okay. So what's here? And okay, in general, the overview is fine, but if you look at this line graph, the most noticeable thing that you can see is this line, which is different, which is clearly visual, that it is different from the others, right? Because it means the number of thefts in, well, let's see, in Great Britain was much higher, right? Rather than in
Yes.
these three. So, however, I didn't find this feature in your overview. I said, what you write is vehicle thefts declined to a minimum in 3 countries, except for, by the way, except for Sweden, except for. So when you compare, you should write except for, not just except. Except for Sweden. Moreover, France and Canada maintained a similar pattern. This is a factual mistake because the pattern is not similar, exactly similar. I said it's fairly similar, approximately similar, but not exactly similar. That's why it's better to write approximately or fairly, okay? Pattern throughout the time period with slight variations. But there is no word about Great Britain, you see, which is
Yes.
number one main feature in this graph. All right, so you
Yes.
have to include this fact. Well, okay, and one more mistake here: vehicle thefts declined. I say themselves or the number of vehicle thefts.
The number.
The number of. This is a common mistake I have mentioned previously lots of times, right? Yeah, please avoid making this mistake. Good. Well, however, well, you haven't mentioned Great Britain here. Okay, that's a minus. Let's say, okay, that's a minus. But look at the third paragraph. Among demonstrated countries, Great Britain recorded the highest number of thefts. Okay. Nearly 20,000, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I'm confused about this data. I said 17,000. Are you sure that the data is presented in thousands? You can see thefts per 1,000 vehicles. It means 17 out of 1,000. I said, it means 17 out of 1,000, not thousands. You see, 17,000, but 17 out of 1,000. You see, that's why 17 per 1,000. This is the factual mistake as well. Okay.
I thought that the country is very big and the number should be in thousands, not
Okay.
in.
Yes, be careful. Oh, just sorry. Be careful because it's written per 1,000 vehicles. Okay. Study the graph carefully. Well, the next, France and Canada registered approximately the same. I said the same. You have to use the article the same every time you use same. Well, although after, okay, and here I have emphasized the word although because it's a wrong word here. It doesn't
Where?
work properly here.
Okay, I see.
Although, you see, well, let's see. However, there were ups and downs initially and gradually decreased after 1996 and reached 17 per thousand. Sweden, France, and Canada registered approximately the same level, reaching nearly 10,000 before, again, 1,000, 10 per thousand before 90. Although after the number of, you see here, you describe France and Canada, I said. And in the sentence which begins with although, you describe Sweden and Canada. So although should combine sentences with which describe the same countries but with different data. For example, if you describe France and Canada here again, Sweden, France, and Canada here again, but the data information was different, so you can use although in this case. Okay, that's why it's a wrong word here. All right. So this is the most these are the most significant things I would like to pay your attention to. And well, I recommend you? Well, first of all, number one step, the algorithm of your actions. Number one, you have to study the graph carefully. And I say, just take down the main features. For example, here, just I have identified them briefly. For example, number one sentence, this is the paraphrasing, right? Number two paragraph, number one paragraph, paraphrasing. Number two, the overview. The overview which identifies the main features. Number one main feature is that Great Britain had the highest level of car thefts, right? And number two trend, main feature is that Sweden, France, and Canada followed a fairly similar pattern, but Sweden had an upward trend in comparison with France and Canada, which where there was a downward trend. Yes, I see.
Yes,
so
I see.
totally, you will get 4 paragraphs. Paraphrasing, okay, the overview, body paragraph 1, Great Britain, okay, the data in Great Britain will be described, and number 4, there will be a comparison of the situation in these 3 countries. Okay. Yes, I said. Well,
Yes,
and
yes.
here I have prepared the model answer for you. Okay, let's see. Well, please, Asil, could you read it?
The line graph compares the number of cars stolen for every 100 or 1,000 vehicles in 4 countries from 1990 to 1999. Overall, it can be seen that car thefts were far higher in Great Britain than in the other 3 countries throughout the whole time frame. To begin, car thefts in Sweden, France, and Canada followed a fairly similar pattern over the first 5 years, all remaining at between 5 and 10 per thousand. The general trend though for France and Canada was a decline in the number of vehicles stolen over the period, with both at around 6 in 1999. In contrast, Sweden experienced an upward trend, starting the period at approximately 8 and finishing at just under 15. Interestingly, car thefts in Great Britain started at 18 per thousand, which far exceeded that of the other countries. It then fluctuated over the next 9 years, reaching a peak of 20 thefts per thousand in 1996 and ending the period slightly lower than where it began at approximately 17 per thousand.
What is done? Let's analyze. I say the order of these paragraphs, I mean paragraph number 1, body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2 can be changed. For example, it can go first. Interestingly, yes, okay, because Great Britain has the most significant feature. Yes, and this paragraph can follow. Well, and as you can see, the introduction consists of 2 sentences, paraphrasing and the overview. However, sometimes I said you can write the overview as a separate paragraph. It's not the mistake. Okay, it's not a mistake.
It will be second.
Yeah, I mean overall. So this sentence, if it goes as a first sentence of the second paragraph, it's also fine. It's also fine. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will send you this analysis with the graph later. Okay, just for you to study it carefully at home so that you can yeah, analyze it. Well, fine. Now, and don't forget about this thing I said. When doing the first steps towards the analysis, I find it highly useful to write, to take down the main features. Just number 1. So what can I see? What is visually clearly what is clearly seen? Right. Okay. The next one. And today, I would like you. Oh, by the way, yes, some practice for you. Some practice for you. Here are, I said, three graphs for you to uh, analyze, choose and describe the main features. Choose and describe the main features. Okay, let's start with this table. I said, let's start with this table.
Mhm. The table
Just read
below
it
gives
fast.
information about
Mhm.
consumer spending on different items in 5 different countries in 2002. Yeah. The
Yes,
given
you have some
the
time,
given
look at the
table.
table. I
Okay.
said, okay, and try to
Mhm,
identify the main features. Mhm.
mhm, mhm,
Uh-huh.
mhm. Mm, People mostly spend the money on buying food, drinks, and tobacco in all
That's
countries.
right.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely right. Mhm.
And also they spend
And what is the
mm,
lowest spending?
leisure and education. Yes, leisure and education um, is less spending. On leisure and education,
Yes.
people spend less money, least
Mm-hmm.
money, the
Yes,
least
the
amount
list.
of money. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just yes, actually, these are the main trends. However, okay, you have compared, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
compared these countries, and now, generally, I said generally,
Mm-hmm.
which country? Maybe you can compare which country just maybe um, spent higher. I mean, which outlay in which country was generally higher than in the other countries in
Turkey,
general? If you
Turkey,
yes.
yes, spends
Mm-hmm.
spends more
Well,
in comparison with other
mhm.
countries on food, drinks, tobacco, and also on leisure and education. Mm, Spain spends the least amount of money on leisure and education, and Italy spends mm, more money. Italian people spend um, more money on clothing and footwear in comparison with four given countries. In comparison with other four given countries.
All right. And now tell me, please, will you include this information, all of these things mentioned by you, into the overview, or it's not necessary? So which things should be included, are recommended to be included in the overview? I mean, of those mentioned.
Mhm. That all countries spend the uh, large amounts of their money on food, drinks, and tobacco,
Okay. Anything else?
and leisure, and the least amount of money on leisure and education.
Okay, yes, that's right, good. And so all the other stuff, just which was said by you, can be included into the following paragraphs,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Mhm,
the comparison. Okay,
mhm,
so overall, let's conclude. Overall, the category of consumer goods that all countries spent most on was food, drinks, and tobacco, right?
mhm.
Okay, the lowest spending could be seen in the category of leisure and education in all five countries, right?
Yes.
Yes, the lowest spending could be seen in the category of leisure and education in all five countries. Okay, well done, well done. Okay, let's move ahead. This one, I said, please.
Expenditure of two countries and consumer goods. Upfront and okay. Overall,
Mm-hmm.
the spendings of UK
Mm-hmm.
was higher than
Mm-hmm.
were higher than um, in France.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly British people spend their money on buying cars, books, and cameras. Although French people
Mm-hmm.
mostly spend their money on such items like computers and perfume.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So number one trend, just summarize that. Uh-huh. Please. I said just
Expenditures
mm-hmm.
overall expenditures of Britons
Mm-hmm.
were higher than
Mm-hmm.
French people.
Yes,
Uh,
excellent. Mm-hmm.
mhm. And mm, most consuming
Mm-hmm.
goods
Mm-hmm.
were were cars, books,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and cameras among um, citizens of Great Britain.
Oh, among citizens of Great Britain or in both countries, Asil? The most consuming products were cars, computers, and books in both countries, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yes? Okay, not just
mm-hmm,
only in Great Britain, but in both countries. Okay,
mm-hmm.
uh-huh, uh-huh, okay. So you can also mention this thing, right? You can also
People
describe
spend
this part. Mm-hmm,
less money.
mm-hmm,
People spend less money on
mm-hmm.
perfume.
Yes, okay, so, okay, but it's up to you. You can include, you can add this information. Okay, it's just extra. Okay, extra.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, well done, well done. Well, the UK overall, the UK spent more money on consumer goods than France in the period given. Okay, excellent. And both the Irish, British, sorry, the British and the French spent most of their money on cars, computers, and books, right?
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes, okay, yes, well done. Good. And the last pie chart, I said pie chart, please.
pie chart below should explain. We see that in both given years, um, um, energy production consisted of coal gas and pet petrol mostly.
Uh-huh. Well, so does it mean that the most significant sources of energy were gas, uh, gas, and okay, let's choose the highest number. I said, okay, let's identify gas and coal as the most
Mhm.
significant sources of energy. Yes, gas
Mhm.
and coal. Okay, also
And
petrol,
also
I guess.
petrol.
Yes, and
Mhm.
petrol as well. Okay. While now let's mention other and nuclear.
With while other and nuclear.
Mhm.
Mm,
Generated,
uh,
yes, and other sources generated.
yes,
Mhm.
generated
Mhm.
minimum amount. No,
The
no.
least, right? When we say the
The
least
list, yes,
Mhm.
the least uh,
Amount.
amount of energy.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So,
However,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
in 2005, the number of other and nuclear,
Mhm.
mm,
It's better to say, paraphrase it, nuclear and other sources.
uh,
Okay, nuclear and
nuclear
other
and
sources.
other sources
Mhm.
uh, was increased,
Increased, not was increased, but
increased,
increased.
increased, yes, increased
Mhm.
uh, approximately twice
Mhm. Twice as much.
as
Twice as
much.
much. Yes, we say usually twice as much, it means two times. Okay, twice as much.
Mhm.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Good. Well, let's summarize. Overall, in both years, the most significant sources of energy were gas, coal, and petrol. Yes. Um, while nuclear and other sources generated the least amount of energy, right?
Mhm.
However, in 2005, the production of nuclear and other sources of energy increased twice as much. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. But you have done it better, I say today, rather than
Mhm.
previously. Okay. Good job. Good job. Okay, move ahead. And now I said, what I'd like you, okay, that's all about single charts. Today we're going to talk
Mhm.
about multiple charts, I said. And
Mhm.
first of all, I would like to demonstrate you the some examples. Okay. Well, multiple charts they can consist of, for example, a line graph and a bar graph, okay, just some models. They can also consist of a bar graph and pie charts, okay,
Mhm.
and okay, which we studied previously, a multiple graph
Yeah.
which consists of a pie chart. Did you analyze it, Asil, by the way? Because today you will have to find the main features again, well, and to describe them. Okay, but we'll do it later. A
Mhm.
pie chart and the table. So, and what are the common problems, I said, students usually um, tackle with? Number one problem is writing too much.
Mhm.
Uh, they try to describe everything, each graph separately in details, right? But the
Mhm.
solution is you have to pick two of the most obvious features from each graph and limit yourself to writing about these things only. Okay,
Mhm.
two, sometimes three, but three is maximum. Okay, just try to choose two most obvious features and write about them only. Number two problem, can't find the main features. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it was
because
with me.
but you have done it better today. Okay, good job. I say I
Uh-huh.
should praise you because yes, uh it's quite challenging to find the main features only because you think that this one is important, this one is essential. Okay, so
Mhm,
everything is essential, and you can choose two, for example. Yeah. Solution. The
mhm,
first important point should be very visual. I say, okay, without
mhm,
reading, you look at the graph, and without reading the task, so you have to pick, okay, and find what are the things that are very significant and noticeable, okay,
mhm,
even without reading the task. Okay, for example, the UK today, do you remember the line graph? So without reading the task, we
mhm,
can see different. Okay. Problem number 3, not grouping information into paragraphs. Yes, in this case, your
mhm,
coherence and cohesion criteria can suffer, and you will
mhm,
lose 25% of your score because there are 4 criteria, right? And if you don't group your information into paragraphs, you lose 25% of your band score. That's why.
mhm,
Solution: group ideas for each paragraph separately. It means one paragraph for one graph. Well, what it means, okay, I will show you later because I have prepared the structure for you, the plan for you. Okay, well, and problem number 4, making comparisons. Making comparisons. Solution: if you don't notice a very obvious comparison between the two sources of data, then stop looking for it and don't write about it. Uh, Compare, the task says describe the main features, right? And compare where relevant. I said, did you pay attention
uh-huh,
that when when you do your practice tests, it's written describe the main features, presenting blah blah blah, and compare where relevant. So it means compare where it is possible to compare. And students try to just try to compare rigidly,
uh-huh.
strictly. They tend to compare something as a necessity. But if you can't, don't do it. All right, this is the solution. Okay. Now look at the structure, please. Well, as I have already mentioned, your report should consist of 4 paragraphs, or you can also combine introduction and overview. Did you see? I said it's okay if you
Mhm,
combine
mhm,
introduction and overview, but generally this structure is recommended. Well, number 1 paragraph, you have to paraphrase the question. Okay, number 2, write the overview, and it should consist of 3 things. Overview of 1, 2 of the main features from graph number 1. Overview of 1, 2 of the main features from graph number 2. And overview of any comparisons if necessary. And this point is optional. Is it clear?
mhm,
Well, now paragraph number 1, which follows your overview. Details of first main feature of graph number 1. So you see how, okay, they are connected, right? 1
mhm,
and 1. Details of second main feature of graph number 1 again. And details of any comparisons, if any, just if there are any, just try to describe the details of any comparisons. But if it's not possible, don't do it. Well, actually, the full paragraph is devoted to the to this point, right? Overview of 1, 2 of the main features from graph number 1. Okay,
mhm,
the full paragraph is connected to this. And paragraph number 2, it's related to the overview of the second graph. Details of first main feature of graph number 2, details of second main feature of graph number 2, and details of any comparisons, if any. Okay.
mhm.
So, any questions, Asil?
No, everything's clear.
Okay, just you should keep this structure in your head, okay,
Mhm.
and don't overwrite or underwrite. Just this is what you have to describe. This is what you have to do in your
Right,
report.
precisely
Yes,
what
okay.
needed.
Follow this structure rigidly. Yeah, don't invent something new. Okay, this is the clear structure. Just follow it. I can show you one more structure, but I said I don't know just whether we have to study it, but possibly yes, just for you as alternative. Okay, uh, this is number 2 proposed structure. Well, again, introduction. You have to paraphrase the question. You have to write the overview. Again, overview of the main features, 2 main features of graph number 1, overview of the main features, 2 main features from graph number 2, and comparisons if possible, if necessary. So the overview is the same with the first one. However, look at the paragraphs 1 and 2. Details and comparisons of 2 features of graph number 1 and supplementary details from graph number 2, because sometimes there is a connection, a connection between the first and the second graph. I mean, between the main graph and the supplementary graph. And if there is a clear connection, you can follow this structure. Okay, you can follow this structure. Paragraph number 2 includes details and comparisons of 2 features of graph number 1 and supplementary from graph number 2 again. So they are the same. They are the same. But I guess the first one is much easier. Okay, this one is much easier, logically structured. That's why I recommend you to use this one. Okay, but you have to know that there is an alternative. Well, all right, and now let's see. Okay, let's analyze. Okay, here it is. Well, let's discuss the introduction, okay, and just look for the main features, I said again, to do an effective, efficient overview, please. I said, can you see? Okay.
Overgrazing,
Mm-hmm.
deforestation were the main causes of worldwide land degradation, mostly in Europe and Oceania.
Are you talking about this graph, about this table right now, Asil?
No,
Okay,
both
this
of
one.
them. Yes.
Okay.
One information I saw in wait.
But why
I
did you
see in first
say Oceania? Is it about
from
Oceania?
no Oceania is the second table.
Well, okay, and now you're talking about this one, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so okay, don't
The
mix
main
up the information, Asil. Yes, just try to choose 2 main features
okay.
in the
The
first
main
graph.
the main causes of worldwide degradation, worldwide land degradation were overgrazing and deforestation. And on the third place was overcultivation, and the other reasons of land degradation were the least amounts.
And now
Yes.
listen, Asil, look, okay,
Mm-hmm.
look for a mistake. Well, you said the main, the largest, the primary causes,
Mm-hmm.
deforestation and overgrazing, right? So this is number one feature. Next,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned overcultivation. This is number
Mm-hmm.
two feature. And
Mm-hmm.
now you're talking about other causes. Three. So you are overwriting. I mean, you have, again, number one, mistake. Students try to write about everything. Do you remember? You have to choose one, two
Mm-hmm.
only. So you can choose,
Ah,
for example,
okay.
the primary causes and the least important reason cause. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the
I
most
shouldn't I shouldn't tell
yeah,
about overcultivation.
yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, um, the main causes of worldwide land degradation were overgrazing and deforestation, and the least reason of land degradation was other.
Yes, or even I said it's not really important to mention those 7%. Okay, you just
Okay.
can say that the primary causes, right, of worldwide degradation were deforestation and overgrazing. Okay, I say I'm sorry, I
Oh,
was offline or you were offline. So okay, some technical mistakes.
I stayed in line.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Asela?
Oh, I'm here.
Asil, are you here?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Okay, the internet is not really reliable today. Okay, keep working, keep working. And well, I was telling you that mentioning deforestation and overgrazing as the primary causes of worldwide land degradation is enough. Don't
Mm-hmm.
mention those 7%, okay? Just say
Okay.
overgrazing and deforestation are the primary causes, the primary reasons. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
one feature only, right? Okay, and now talk about the table.
The amount of degraded land was the largest in Europe.
Excellent. Excellent. That's right.
Mhm.
Okay, good. These are the main two features taken from these graphs. Okay, yes, good
Mhm.
job, Asil. Well, yes, and when writing, when describing these features in the overview, you can say, you can use such structures. For example, you can write, we can, okay, the pie overall, the pie graph displays the principal causes why farming land deteriorates in general, right? The main causes why farming land deteriorates, while the table illustrates how three regions of the planet were affected, right, by these factors in 1990s, for example. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you can start your overview with, we can clearly see from the pie chart that there are three primary causes of farmland degradation, and overgrazing and deforestation are the major ones, right? Are the major ones, okay? And the table shows, how did you say that? And the table shows that the most unproductive land, or how did you say that?
The uh,
Highest
large
percentage.
amount, yes,
Okay.
the highest percentage of degraded land was in Europe.
Okay, yes, excellent, excellent. Good job. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here is the overview. Okay, I said, please read it.
The pie graph displays the principal causes why farming land deteriorates, while the table illustrates how three regions of the planet were affected by these factors in the 1990s. We can clearly see from the pie chart that there are three primary causes of farmland degradation, and overgrazing is the major one. The table shows that Europe had a far higher percentage of unproductive land compared to the other two regions in this time period.
Okay, paraphrasing. Number one, paraphrasing. Number two, the overview. Yes, all right, good. Keep working. And
The
now,
pie and
yeah,
while the table, yes,
you may
with
say while
words.
the table.
Yes.
Yes, you can combine while the table. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Yes,
Okay,
exactly. Okay.
the pie chart
Linking words.
while the table. Okay, okay, I see.
The next one. Now it's a little bit different kind of a task. You have to analyze the multiple chart, this one, and order the pieces from A to G into the order. Just order the pieces of the report so that you get a full completed report. Understood? Got it?
First,
Yeah?
yes,
Yes.
first F, first
First,
F,
F, right.
yes. The table shows the value of
Good.
fish that was
Exactly.
imported. The next will be overall, yes,
Overall
overall the
C,
value.
yes.
C. Then um, mm, we go, at the start E.
Yes, that's right. Okay, E.
Так, F, C, E, by 1992, G.
Uh,
No.
No, that's not, because you see it's the middle. The middle of it's not just the correct one. Well, you see this one, sorry, just which one? Regarding the table. At the start of the period, the US imported. Okay, so does it describe this one or this one? A pie chart or this table? A pie chart, yes?
The pie chart, yes.
Well, at the start, then
A in the terms of the source of fission rotation.
US imported fish predominantly from Canada, but by the final article, simply the main source. Well, no, I guess I say something's wrong.
B.
Well, okay, let's just take some notes. Okay, you said F is number one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then C overall.
2.
Okay.
Yes.
Then
E
you
third.
said E third one. Yes. Then what did you say? Now, just you see, at the start of the period, the US imported fish predominantly from Canada, but by the final year, the other countries had become the main source. This is the part of the overview I said. Now get into the details. Now you have to describe the details separately. Firstly, the table, and then the pie charts, because this sentence, E, it is a part of the overview. It is a part of the overview. Okay, now you start describing what? Paragraph number 1, features of the table. And paragraph number 2, features, the details of the pie charts, right? Okay, now.
Then B, it will be B. Yes.
Yes, that's right. Because it's about the table, details about the table. Okay, in numbers and percentage, in dollars, etc., in sums. Then
A in terms of the
yes,
source
because it describes
charts.
Yes, pie charts. Good.
Pie charts.
Then
Yes.
goes
And
what?
the last will be G.
Okay, but last but not least, okay, so G, it's number 6, and finally D. Because I said by 1992, other countries had replaced Canada. Okay, had replaced Canada. Let's see. Okay, it means China and other countries as the main supplier, make up 46% of all imports in 1992 and 42% by 2000. US imports from Canada fell over the period. Could you hear me? I said,
Yes, I'm again connected.
Yeah, over the period. So the US imports from Canada fell over.
Will be the last.
Yes, okay, as we can see, that witnessed an increase to 30% in 2000. Even by dates, you see? Here, okay, it means the last one. Here, it means the pre-last, okay? Yes. So, and what about grouping this information? I said, let's divide these 7 sentences into 4 paragraphs. Okay, how would you group them? Okay, number 1, this is the paraphrasing. It's clear, right?
Yes, first,
paraphrasing.
Yes.
Okay.
Second and third will be second.
Overview,
Overall,
right?
yes. Overview,
Yes, the
yes.
overview. Okay, then.
Then fourth,
Mhm.
fourth, and fourth will be
Paragraph 1, right?
yes, and
Mhm.
the last will be 5, 6, 7.
5, 6, 7. Yes, that's right. Good.
Mhm,
Now let's have a look. Here it is. As you can
mhm,
see, you did it right. You did it right.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So it means you're moving in the right direction. Excellent. And one more essay task, one more, as I remember the last one. Yes, the last one. Find the mistakes. Find the mistakes in this report, but be careful. These are not factual mistakes. Most of them are related to grammar range and accuracy criteria. That's it. Grammar range
Mhm.
and accuracy. Okay. Well, as you can see, the estimated band score is 8. Okay. Because why? Because it contains a few mistakes, which is why it isn't band 9. Okay. There are 2 or 3 mistakes, as I remember. Can you find them, please? Okay. Please, you have some
Where?
time.
In the
In the
text?
report. Yes, I said in the
Okay.
report, you have to find the
Mm.
mistakes. Okay, grammar range and accuracy only, not factual.
Yes. Uh, the majority of people with university education
Uh,
was
no,
in grammar mistake.
no, it's not the mistake. It's okay. I said it's
Uh,
correct. Mm-hmm.
a little difference. Showed little
Yes, that's
difference.
right. Little
Noun.
difference.
The here should be
Absolutely,
noun. Not
absolutely right.
adjective.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
In the ages 50 to 75. In the no those
No,
in
it's
the
fine. It's fine. I
uh
said.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in university graduates in the last
It's
sentence.
also correct. It's also
Uh,
correct. University graduates, people who graduate
Um,
from university, they call it. Okay.
who didn't have educational.
Okay, well, I'll give you a hand. The mistake is in the last paragraph, I see. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and the problem is with the form of the word. The form of the word.
Proportion of men and women in each level of education. A slight difference.
Of course, a slight
Yes,
difference. It should be in an adjective form, right?
yes.
In
Here
adjective
it
form.
is adverb. Adverb.
Yes, that's
Mhm.
right, that's right. Well, good job. I say that's why a student couldn't get a band score higher than 8, only because of these mistakes. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Well, unfortunately. So, good job. I said, you
Mhm.
actually, this task is a kind of an introduction to our next session, which is devoted to grammar. Okay, to
Mhm.
grammar. We will learn some grammar constructions or phrases which can be used to describe approximations, fractions, trends, etc., etc. We will focus on prepositions, okay, at,
Mhm.
by, so and so on. And we will also talk about the common mistakes students usually
Okay.
make when
Mhm.
writing. So could you give me the feedback, please, on the on the lessons we have already had? I mean, did it become easier for you to analyze, or just what can you tell me? I said about the maybe analysis in general and analyzing process. Okay, what do
Mhm.
you think?
Mhm.
Is it easy or maybe the same? For you?
No, no, it isn't easy for me yet.
It isn't easy.
But I hope, but I hope that it will be easier. It is
What I have.
difficult during
Mhm.
studying, and but it will be easy in the battle.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes.
I hope.
What I have noticed is that you have done your progress. I mean, in analyzing, especially. Well, possibly you have to work on your vocabulary and actual lexis. I said lexis. Okay, in terms of well, because you can find the trends and features, main trends and features easier now, but the way you introduce them, okay, is a
Simple.
little bit tricky for you. Yes, I mean, it's a little bit tricky for you to increase, right? Increase
Yes,
the level of the words
yes,
or range
yes,
your
yes,
syntax structures, etc. Okay,
yes.
what
I
I
see that you use very, very difficult
huh?
word. It can be
because
seen. Yeah,
because
it
I
could be
show you.
seen. Something like this.
Yeah, because yes, I said because we aim to get a band score 7.5. Don't
Yes.
forget about that. That's why my role is to show you what you have to do, what you should do
Mm-hmm.
in order to get this
Mm-hmm.
band score. You see, and you have
Okay,
to,
thank you.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
work. Well, actually, you see, these sessions were devoted to describing pie charts, line graphs, tables, and bar charts. And there are some sessions left which will be devoted to grammar, as I have mentioned, diagrams, and maps. Why
Mm-hmm.
I prepared this presentation separately, I mean, on diagrams and maps, because they are different. They are different,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely different. Okay, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then it's time to do the preparation on the writing task 2, I say in 3 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll send you your home assignment later, as usually. By the way, on Friday is a day off. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Friday is a day
Okay,
off. Yes,
we'll meet on Monday.
Monday, next Monday,
Mm-hmm.
next Monday, yes.
Okay.
So, and
Okay.
that's why I'll send you just a home assignment, which is a little bit bigger, larger,
Okay.
okay?
Great.
hmm
Uh-huh.
listening will be included. Listening, okay, as
Okay,
well.
great.
Listening, writing, and speaking. Yes. Well, happy Women's Day. Happy forthcoming Women's Day. See you next
Yes.
week. Mhm.
Happy Women's Day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. My pleasure.